Hey, good morning, Jamie. It's Natalie here in the lower 48.
That's right. And I'm north of the 100th. North of the 100th, I think. The 100th
I
meridian.
I think so. I think you are.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Why does my screen look so crazy?
Doing good this morning. Enjoying a bit of IT training from you, learning how to coordinate my microphone, my headset, and my computer so that we all play nicely together.
No kidding. It's been an interesting morning with the computer. Well, if I lose my camera, you'll have to bear with me to get it out of the recycling bin because it falls off the back of my monitor sometimes. So, but what's going on in California?
Well, actually, things are good right now. I am living in an area that the temperature finally dropped below 100. That's Fahrenheit. So to you,
Hot.
that's hot. Yeah.
It's about 27 or something, or 28, or I'm guessing.
I'm gonna look that up. What degrees in
I think yeah,
your Celsius, right?
it's pretty hot either way, for sure. Uh-oh. Did we lose you? I think we lost her. I don't know how that happened. Just saw her picture drop out. So I do believe that 100 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit is roughly 28-ish degrees Celsius, I think. So anyway, today we were. Oh, there she's back.
I'm back. I'm back. I don't
She
know what
dropped out.
I dropped out.
Well, at
Uh,
least the pictures are flipping back and forth now again.
oh, well, maybe that's good.
Maybe, yeah, that was one of our technical issues that we're having. It's been quite the morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but
Or late.
yeah. But you know what? It proves something that we always talk about. We
Mm-hmm.
always talk about where your mindset is on anything you do.
For
And
sure.
there are people out there who would have gone and spent the 10, 15 minutes we just did on technical stuff and then just said, that's it, can't do it, it's not working, goodbye.
Throw it out there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, no, I'd throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yep, yep.
Isn't that one of those stuffs what people say?
That's that's one of the phrases. And the thing is, it's like, move behind it. Leave the past, be the past, and move forward with what it is you need to do.
For sure.
It's probably not a lesson that's easy for a lot of people to learn.
No, and I think that sometimes people forget that bad things are coming no matter, like, well, not necessarily bad things, but just challenges are coming no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, or what it is you're doing, or what part of the world you live in, or any of those things. Challenges are coming and they're on their way. I mean, if you find that you're living a life where you have no challenges, you're likely not doing anything.
And challenges are another way of learning something,
Without question.
you know.
They're the only way
So,
to learn.
so
You
um,
can't learn anything without being challenged. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, I think that sometimes people forget that when things are easy or not, there is nothing to be learned. You know, the story is the same. I use the same story often. Is that you, if you want to learn to become a better tennis player, you can't play tennis against people who are worse than you, so that you can beat them all the time because you're not learning anything. You're certainly not learning how to be a better tennis player because you're not. There's a misconception that if you just practice playing tennis that you'll get better and better and better. No, that's not true. You won't get better and better and better. You'll maintain the exact same level of skill until you start playing against people who are better than you. And when you put yourself in a position where you're playing tennis against people who are better than you, you'll lose. You'll face challenge, and you'll have to force yourself to become a better tennis player in order to compete with the person that you're playing with. So, uh, and there is something to be said for playing tennis with people who have less skill than you, because you're giving them an opportunity to grow as well. But if you think that you're with the people that are less skilled than you and you win all the time, and you think that you're just a great tennis player, you're probably not.
and that is the same concept when we say people we associate with. If you only associate with people who are not doing anything or who are not striving to learn some skills or better themselves, then you stay in that rut and then you don't grow and develop skills and learn.
That's right.
So
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
why I read a lot. Now, I don't read as much as I would like to, but I do read often. And I find when I come across something I don't know, if I don't have access to a book that might have that information in it, let's face it, we have the internet. Why not use it? I Google it and I read what I can so that I know what it is I'm looking to read and, um, you know, learn something. File it
Yeah.
away up in that great filing cabinet that's under all this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I mean, I agree with you. I don't read nearly as much as I'd like to. It's part of my daily goals that often don't get met when it comes to reading, anyway. Because I would like to read more. Because something else that it may or may not be common knowledge, or even something that people believe, is that by reading, you're actually associating with the author. So you're not just reading a book for the sake of reading a book. You associate with the author. So if you're looking to, you can actually be mentored by an author, provided you take their works and you invest the time to read and perhaps take notes, or uh, just create a framework for what you're learning through this person's works of literature. So I mean, it's a type of mentorship. It's not the same as having a one-on-one physical mentor, which you should consider. But the idea is that an author can be a mentor, and you can utilize their their books to be uh, part of your learning process.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And I enjoy, now, of course, we do this online because the distance doesn't permit us to meet at a local coffee shop. But I've started doing something recently when I've met people that I've got into conversation with and find them interesting, and perhaps they're in a field that I'm just not involved in or know nothing about. I say, hey, why don't we get together, have some coffee, and get to know each other a little bit and find out what each other does. And it's a great way to open up channels of discussion. And you learn, they learn, and if it's something that you want to pursue, then obviously the relationship develops beyond that. But I love doing coffee with people. It is the easiest way to get people to open and talk about themselves because it's a non-threatening environment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite things to do outside of my
Hockey.
office. Pardon me?
Hockey.
Yeah, well, outside of playing hockey,
Yeah.
which I play tonight, by the way. But the um, is going out for coffee or lunch or whatever, just because I don't know, the whole idea of going for coffee or lunch or just meeting in a public space, it just creates I don't know, there's an openness to it where people tend to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more uh, open to receive, open to conversation. I know sometimes in a larger group it can get a little heavy depending on the group. Um, we have a member of Toastmasters group that meets every Thursday. It's a rather large group, so there are times when we do struggle for the ability to sort of connect with everybody that's in the room on any given Thursday. So I can see how uh, valuable the one-on-one time. But one of the things that I started, and I don't know if I told you this or not, but sort of a variation of people drinking coffee is after the Toastmasters meeting on Thursdays, I go for breakfast because there's a
Yes, you
breakfast
did.
right there's a breakfast place just down the road from where the Toastmasters meets, and it's actually a place that I used to go to with my father when he had his roofing company and we were doing our roofing, and we would go there often in the mornings, leading like before we'd go to work, so to speak, go there for breakfast or whatever. So I started doing that. Originally, it was with a friend that was in Toastmasters. Ooh, should probably turn that off. I'll just move that over here so it's not as loud. And he and I were going to use this as a planning session. So we would sit down and we would sort of plan our week out, and then we could hold each other accountable for what we wanted to get done and that kind of thing. But he since was unable to continue coming to Toastmasters because his business sort of took off a little, and just was taking up to a lot of his time. So needless to say, he stopped coming. I thought, you know what, just I'll plan my own week. I'll write, I'll read, or whatever. I'm already there. Toastmasters is finished by 8:30 in the morning because we start early. So we
Okay.
have, I mean, it's not a big deal for me to go out for another hour to sort of spend some time doing that kind of thing. So what has happened though is that people in the Toastmasters group have uh, since sort of discovered that I go for breakfast every morning, every Thursday morning. So um, started asking if it was all right if they joined me, and so now I never have breakfast alone anymore. Somebody always comes. It's anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 people show up. So we end up having that sort of 1 hour, 90-minute sort of start to the day after Toastmasters, where we just sort of support each other, find out, what each other's working on, how we can help each other. And so it's grown some friendships, and again, it's putting me around people that are challenging me to grow and challenging me to get outside my comfort zones. And but the more time I spend around those people, the stronger my resolve to get out of my comfort zone becomes. If you try and do it, yeah, you can go and often do all this stuff on your own, and that's great, but sometimes you need a little bit of, you need a kick in the ass, and you need someone to just sort of say, hey, what are you doing, and when are you going to accomplish this, and what's your deadline, and those kinds of things. So
And you know what? You say comfort zone, and comfort zone is one of those phrases, and I've used that as well. But actually, comfort zone is just that preconceived idea that floats around in our head that limits us from what we can and cannot do.
right,
It's like um, I have a friend who is encouraging me to be more involved in video marketing.
right,
I I don't do it. Now,
no, no,
there's
you don't,
nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, but the thing is, for some reason, somewhere in my head, there's that little wall that says, "Oh, this is just not something you can do. You're not good on camera. You're not this. You're not that." But
but yet here you are.
and yet here we are talking, and we're on camera.
Exactly. So very annoying. So
Very annoying.
in case any of you are wondering, I'm the friend. But but it's true though. Like, I mean, I've come to sort of play with the concept of comfort zone, and I don't necessarily, because people always say they need to get out of their comfort zone. I really don't think you get out of your comfort zone ever. I think all you do is you expand the limits of what it is.
Okay.
Because as soon as you get out of your comfort zone and you do something, get out of your comfort zone and do something that you and others consider out of that zone,
Mhm.
then you become comfortable with it. Does it not now become part of your comfort zone? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, videos, I turn on the camera, boom, what do you want me to do? You want me to spend 5 minutes talking? You want to spend 3 hours? What do you want me to say? What topic do you want? Just throw it at me. We're good, right? So, but that's not how it was before. I mean, come on. I'm not naive enough, or will I even sit here and tell you that the second I flipped on the camera that it was easy to do? It wasn't. I mean, it was horrible. I watched some of the videos I made in the beginning because they're still on YouTube, and they're just horrible. I mean, I watched them like, wow. I mean, what was I thinking? But those horrible videos are required to get to the ones that I'm comfortable in, as are every other thing that you learn in life. You want to learn to become a good bowler, tennis player, hockey player. You gotta, you want to learn how to skate. You gotta first fall down 1,000 times, just, and then all of a sudden you figure it out. You want to learn how to be a good bowler? Well, go throw a zillion gutter balls till you figure out the process. Like, Michael Jordan. If anybody who's familiar with Michael Jordan, and if you're not, you should really look it up. He's a great speaker when it comes to describing where did you come from. I mean, Michael Jordan was told by his high school phys ed teacher or coach that he would never ever play basketball because he's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact remains is that you will need to go through that garbage to get to being good or comfortable, or even just comfortable. If you don't ever get good, whatever that means, the comfortable level only comes from blowing past the fear and doing it horrible, doing it scared, doing it horrible, and doing it inefficiently. It's a requirement for success. How's that?
And
Like, I know that.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go. You
Go ahead.
go. You go.
Well, I was just going to say with the Michael Jordan thing, I mean, most people take the Michael Jordans of the world, the Wayne Gretzky's of the world, the Michael Phelps of the world. They take these guys and they look at them and they say, "Oh, look at all this amazing stuff they've done. They've always been amazing." Not true. Not true at all. They've been horrible. They've been terrible. They've screwed up. If you ask Michael Jordan, one of his famous quotes is about um, how many buzzer-beating shots he's taken and how many he's actually made. I mean, the number's quite horrible. But that's not the point. He's still become one of the best basketball players to ever play the game. Look at it. Baseball players are considered heroes if they can bat 400. Like, you're talking, write your own ticket for how much you want to get paid, $10 million a year to play baseball if you can bat 400.
And that's
Like,
what,
that's only
four out of 10.
40%. 40%. So you fail 60% of the time, yet we're going to pay you $10 million a year. 60% of the time, you suck, but we're going to pay you, right? But you're an absolute hero. Let's consider how many times you go up to bat versus how many times you actually hit a home run. I mean, what's the leader in the MLB right now? It's like 35 or something.
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
So how many times have they been at bat? How many times have they swung the bat? Let's even break it down further. Never mind how many times they've been at bat. How many times have they swung that bat around?
And yeah.
Right. Exactly. Right. There's because sometimes the guys go up to bat and they're there for 10, 11 pitches because they foul off 3 or 4.
Yep.
So they strike one, they foul off 3 or 4. So there's 4 or 5 swings in one bat. And then now you go to how many times they actually hit the home run. Is it under 10%? Under 5%? I don't know the number, so I'm just.
I don't know, but
somebody will know. Some MLB statistician will know that number off the top of their head, but I guarantee it's small.
Yep.
But if you hit 35, 40, 50 home runs in a year, you're an absolute hero. King among baseball men. The point being is that perfection is a fallacy that people hold themselves to. It's an unattainable expectation that they hold themselves to, and when you hold yourself to that level of success, all you're setting yourself up for is failure. But if you go into it knowing that it's going to be hard and it's going to suck, but I'll get better, then at the very least you're going to make an effort.
And that's it. You have to do it. You have to take the action. I talk about writing, and I've written stuff and I've put it in a folder and it sits there because some of it I say, oh, that's not good enough. Well, who's it not good enough for? It's
right.
Right. First of all,
that's exactly right.
And the thing is, hey, let's take the famous writers. Okay. what's her name? J.K. Rowling's, who did the Harry Potter series.
Right.
This
Yeah.
woman was in poverty before she wrote this, you know,
Hmm.
and now she's had some great success with it. But
She
again,
also gives away like 90% of her income.
yeah, I mean, so not only is she good at what she did, but she's a good person as well. But not everybody starts out being the best author. Not everybody, as you say, not everybody starts out being the best at what they're doing,
I don't
but
think anything starts out that way.
but the key is start.
Yeah. Wayne Gretzky, arguably one of the best hockey players to play
Yep.
in the NHL, is a horrible skater. Always has been. He was told he would never make the NHL because he couldn't skate. Because he skates like a wounded animal. He always has. And it's not. I mean, if you look back on like just look at skaters in general, and then go look at how Wayne Gretzky skates. It's like, oh my god, what the heck? But the guy had such a vision for the ice and the space, and like it's so it's if we're gonna break things down and try and find perfection before we take action, then
No. Nope.
yes.
Nope.
So I have a friend of mine just yesterday, quite literally just yesterday, we were talking about videos because she posted a video to a group that we're both a part of. It was in response to a webinar series that we had both attended, and one of the um, some of the homework they gave us was to uh, post a video in the group with um, what you like best, or what your key takeaway basically
Okay.
from the webinar, because it was about a 6 hour webinar
Oh,
series.
okay.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 speakers. It was good. But anyway, so I was just talking with her, and she went on to say, out of the blue, I didn't prompt her on this. She just said, "Oh yeah, and I posted a horrible video in the group at like midnight. I'm just not happy with it." I mean, the fact that she posted it was awesome, but the interesting thing happened like a week ago. Her video, and I thought it was great. Because it was just her. She was just being her, and she was natural, and it was authentic, and she had given her 2 cents as to what her key takeaway was, and I thought it was a really good video. Um, she hates it, and then I asked her. I said, "Here's the key." Or no, I didn't ask her. I told her that here's the key. I said, "It doesn't matter if you like it. Somebody else will." I said, "Leave all the critique and constructive criticism to those who are watching it, and you'll find that you get a lot less than you think you will, because it's not. I mean, sure, there's always things that we can do better, even in conversation, just leaving out the little words like the ums and the ahs and all those things. Is that we're going to be way more critical of ourselves than somebody else. So I think that it's important, and I've had to myself. I think it's super important, the constructive criticism to come from the masses as opposed to internally. Toastmasters is probably the one place that's taught me that the most in the shortest period of time, because it's an evaluation. I mean, the whole concept of Toastmasters is that you speak in front of crowds and they evaluate you. You don't speak without being evaluated, right? No matter what role you're taking on, you're being evaluated. Somebody's evaluating you at some point. And even the seasoned guys that have been there for 20, 25 years, they take on a role, they're being evaluated. That's the purpose of it, is so that you're getting constructive feedback. The group that I happen to be a part of, in my opinion, simply because I haven't been to other clubs, but I've heard this from guests that have been there and from fellow members, is that it's such a very strong environment when it comes to a safe place to be vulnerable, to just go out there and screw it all up. I encourage you just to stand up at the front and make a mess of it, because we'll help you. We'll tell you exactly what we loved about what you did. We'll say, you know what, maybe you could shape this a little bit. And it's not, the evaluations aren't designed to be, you need to change this. It's more like, here's something that people could consider so that everybody can learn. So,
See, that's
you
it.
didn't make really good
Yeah.
eye contact with the left side of the room. So now that's something that everybody can. Oh yeah, I remember when I get up there, I got to make good eye contact with the whole room. I got to
Right.
scan the audience. I got to go back and forth, right?
See,
So
but as you say, somebody who is in the audience and is hearing that critique, they're saying, "Oh, I should remember that too."
exactly. So that's the whole purpose of the
Yeah.
Toastmasters concept, is that we're supporting each other and building each other together. That it's a group effort to help evaluate. It's a group effort, but that's something that I've learned in the short period of time there, is that
Okay.
because I'm and who had posted the video, when except for videos, and I'll share this part in a sec, but when it comes to speaking, um, I still, when I sit down after I've done whatever speech, for whatever reason, for whatever's happening,
Right.
I'm immediately going through my head. I'm like, oh, I didn't do that good. I didn't do this good. I screwed that up. I just go off on this big list of things that didn't go well. But then when the evaluator comes up to talk about what they saw,
It's not the
it's a heck
same
of a
as
lot
what
different.
it's different from
No,
what you saw. Yeah.
no. It's there. All of a sudden, this was really good. This was really good. Oh, I loved how you did that. Da, 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 da. This is a point of improvement. Here's where you might be able to change things. I don't, maybe where my hands are, or if I look super nervous, or one of the things that people had said to me was that I look so much more comfortable up there than I did when I first started. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because inside here, it's just helter skelter, right? Like, I mean, I feel like I'm showing nervousness, but according to the people watching, I'm showing comfort. So I have to. What's really important is that I don't dismiss what they say and then own what I think. Because if I own what I think, that means that I'm going to continue to feel nervous all the
Right.
time.
You
But if
have to
I
let it go.
right, and I have to take what they say as the truth, not what the lies I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
Right. So, and one thing I told my friend about the video thing, because she clearly she watched her video, right? That's why she hated
Right.
it. Otherwise, how would you know what was in it?
Right.
I told her, I said, why are you watching your videos? Or asked her, why are you watching your videos? And she kind of just laughed. I said, I never watch my videos. I used to. When I make a video, I know when I'm done, when I hit move the mouse and hit the click to stop the video recorder, I know if it was good or bad. Did I hit the points I wanted to hit? Da, 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 da. Yep. Okay. Done. I never go back and watch it. Because partway through, if you're off the rails, right? Like for me, anyway, I'm doing my video and I'm like cruising along and I'm like, oh man, where am I going with this? And I'll start saying it out loud and then I'll stop the video, delete it, start over, right? So there's often 2, 3, 4, 5 takes depending on what it is that I'm doing. But the fact remains is that when I'm done, I know it was what I wanted to accomplish, and I don't go back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
So I mean, so my advice to her was stop watching your damn videos.
Yep.
Just post them and move on. Right?
And you know what? That brings us full circle because we
Natalie, just
spent,
post them and move on.
yeah. Okay.
So
And
that wasn't the full circle you were talking about? Oh, sorry. I thought that's where you were going with that.
no, no.
Carry on.
Here we are this morning. We spent about 15, almost 20 minutes trying to work through a technical glitch
Yeah.
to where we realized we weren't resolving it totally. There was still some issues, but when we reached that point, we said, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's move forward. Let's, go live.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
With anything you do, no matter what it is, you go forward, you don't go backwards. Let go of the old stuff, embrace what's new, go forward on everything you're doing, and you're going to learn something
Yeah.
and you're going to be better for it. And if you're better for it, it doesn't matter what field, what career, what your focus is. If you're making yourself better for what you're doing, then life is good.
Yeah.
And life has coffee in it, so hey.
I posted on Facebook today. I think finally I found a post that is completely understands who we are. I don't know if I can see it. Where did I put it? In here? Maybe if I move this over here. Or no, I'm going to leave it here. then I'll actually be looking in the right direction. So as I put so I wrote a little bit. There are many reasons people drink coffee, but I do believe this list captures the essence of who I am, how I feel about my first cup of coffee in the morning. It changes the world. Freedom is only a cup away.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
here's the image. Reasons I need coffee. ... It tastes like hopes and dreams. Caffeine perks me up.
Okay.
Other people talk to me in the morning. Jail is a real thing.
Okay.
If my eyes are closed, it helps me mimic socially acceptable behavior. If you forget to put on pants.
I love that, Jamie. That says it all.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the way to wrap it up. Hey.
Jail is a real thing, so have your coffee.
Yep. Sounds great. Hey,
Keep your head level.
I'm thrilled we had a chance to share our coffee time with whoever's watching us this morning. And
Woo!
woo!
I gotta go get more coffee because mine ran out, and during our technical glitches,
Uh-oh.
I couldn't fill up, so I've been sorely
Okay.
lacking.
All right. So
Is there enough evidence as to what my favorite hockey team is?
let's see.
This is a coaster, by the way, made for me by my niece.
Very cool. Very cool.
Little plastic. They take these little plastic things.
Oh yeah.
And then they put them together, and then they iron them or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Very cool.
I don't even know where she would have got a pattern for it. Like I don't know if she just made it off the top of her head or what.
But very
It's
cool.
impressive.
Very cool.
So
very cool.
that's where I keep my coffee.
Okay,
So.
well, play well tonight.
Oh yes, that'll be fun.
Tonight's hockey.
First game of the new season.
Okay. Now our football season started this past Sunday, so.
What do you mean your football season?
Our football season. No, football started.
We all watch NFL. Even the Canadians.
Really? See, in my world, the only thing that everybody does is drink coffee.
Well, here's the thing: us Canadians have a bonus because we'll watch our own football league, but then we also watch the National Football League. So we get the best of both worlds, whereas the snobby Americans won't watch CFL football.
Anyway.
Hopefully have fun with the new Los Angeles Rams. They suck.
They were Los Angeles Rams before they went to St. Louis.
Doesn't mean they don't suck any.
That goes back a couple of years, but whatever.
I'm not old enough.
All right, Jamie. All right. That's it.
Who loves me?
Hey, guys. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great week. Jamie and I are going to be here next week, and hopefully Jamie will have fresh coffee with him when we're on camera.
Better planning.
Okay. Sounds like
a plan.
All right,
peace, guys. Have a great day.
You too, everyone. Bye now.